Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have an almost magnetic pull, effortlessly drawing others toward them? What if I told you the secret isn't about looks, money, or charm, but something far deeper? It's emotional control, and today we're unlocking the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius to show you how to master it. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll not only understand the Stoic principles that create unshakable attraction, but you'll also have actionable steps to transform your love life forever. And hey, before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more life-changing content. Let me tell you a story about a man named Julian. Julian was smart, funny, and had a lot going for him. But when it came to relationships, he struggled. Why? Because he wore his emotions on his sleeve. If things didn't go his way, he'd panic, overthink, or lash out. And while he thought his vulnerability would make people feel closer to him, it actually drove them away. One day, Julian stumbled upon the writings of Marcus Aurelius. He started practicing Stoicism, not suppressing his emotions, but controlling how he responded to them. Slowly, he became calmer, more grounded, and surprisingly, more attractive to those around him. Julian didn't change who he was. He changed how he reacted. That's the power of emotional control. It's not just about keeping your cool, it's about cultivating an aura of confidence and stability that others can't help but be drawn to. Now let's dive into 10 Marcus Aurelius-inspired suggestions that will help you embody this Stoic mastery and become utterly magnetic in your relationships. 1. Master the art of self-reflection. Let's start with something that most people overlook: self-reflection. Picture this, you're in a quiet room at the end of the day. The world has slowed down and it's just you and your thoughts. Have you ever taken a moment to look back and think about how you handled certain situations? Especially in your relationships, how you spoke, how you reacted, and how you made your partner feel. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." What he meant was that true power comes from knowing and mastering yourself. You can't control what someone else says, does, or feels, but you can control your own mind. Now imagine this is your story. You're in a relationship and things seem great until you have an argument. Maybe it's something small like forgetting to text back, or something bigger like feeling misunderstood. In the heat of the moment, you say or do something you regret. Hours later, you replay it in your mind. Why did I get so upset? Why didn't I just take a second to breathe and respond calmly? This is where self-reflection comes in. Marcus Aurelius kept a journal, writing down his thoughts and analyzing his actions every day. This wasn't to criticize himself, but to learn and grow. Let me ask you this: when was the last time you sat down and thought about your own patterns in love? What makes you feel secure? What triggers you? What habits are you carrying from past relationships into your current one? Here's a small exercise for you tonight. Before bed, grab a notebook or your phone. Write down one moment in your day where you could have handled things better, maybe with your partner, a friend, or even yourself. Then ask, why did I react that way? What would I do differently next time? When you make self-reflection a habit, you'll notice a shift in how you handle relationships. You'll start catching yourself before you act impulsively, before saying something hurtful, and you'll replace those moments with calm, thoughtful responses. This level of self-awareness makes you more attractive, not because you're perfect, but because you're growing. Think about it. Wouldn't you be drawn to someone who understands themselves, who owns their flaws but is working on them, who's honest about their growth? Of course you would. That's the kind of energy you're cultivating when you master self-reflection. So, as you're watching this, take a moment. Think about a love story of yours. Maybe it's the one that got away. Maybe it's the one you're living now. What would Marcus Aurelius say about how you're handling that story? Could you pause, reflect, and learn? 2. Respond, don't react. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you're on a date, everything's going great, and then something unexpected happens. Maybe the waiter spills your drink, or your date says something that stings a little. In that split second, what do? Do you laugh it off, stay calm, or do you react impulsively, letting emotions take over? Marcus Aurelius gives us timeless advice here. You don't have to turn this into something. It doesn't have to upset you. It's such a simple yet profound idea. You don't have to react immediately. You don't have to let small things ruin your mood or your connection with someone. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a situation where you reacted too quickly, maybe out of anger or frustration, and later regretted it? Think back to that moment. How different could it have been if you had just paused, taken a deep breath, and responded thoughtfully? Here's the truth. Emotional reactions can make or break relationships. When you react impulsively, it often comes from a place of fear, insecurity, or frustration. But when you respond with intention, it shows maturity, confidence, and emotional intelligence, all of which are incredibly attractive traits. Let me share a quick story. A friend of mine, Lavra, was in a long-term relationship. One evening, her boyfriend forgot their anniversary. Lavra was hurt naturally. Her first instinct was to lash out, accuse him of not caring, and make a scene. But instead, she paused. She thought about what Marcus Aurelius might advise. When her boyfriend came home, she calmly said, "Hey, I'm feeling a bit hurt because today was important to me." Her boyfriend, who had genuinely forgotten because of a crazy workday, apologized and made it up to her in a beautiful way. If she had reacted impulsively, the situation could have escalated into a fight. Instead, her thoughtful response brought them closer. Think about your own relationships. Are there moments where you've let small things spiral out of control because of an emotional reaction? What if next time you paused, breathed, and responded calmly instead? The next time you're in a heated moment, try this. Count to 5 in your mind before you say or do anything. Use those 5 seconds to decide, am I reacting or responding? This simple habit can transform not only your love life, but also your relationships with friends, family, and coworkers. 3. Embrace challenges as opportunities. Now, let's talk about challenges in relationships. Every love story has them. Think about your own story. What's the biggest challenge you faced in love? Maybe it was a breakup, a misunderstanding, or a difficult conversation you couldn't avoid. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, challenges aren't obstacles. They're opportunities to grow. Let's take a deeper look. Imagine you're dating someone and everything is perfect at first. But then the honeymoon phase ends and real-life issues come up. Maybe you disagree about finances, or one of you is busier than the other. How do you handle it? Do you see these challenges as signs that the relationship isn't meant to be? Or do you see them as opportunities to learn and grow together? I once knew a couple, Sam and Maya, who struggled with communication. Sam was the kind of person who bottled up his feelings, while Maya was more expressive and confrontational. This difference caused endless arguments. But instead of walking away, they embraced the challenge. They started couples therapy, where they learned how to communicate in a way that honored each other's styles. The result? Their relationship became stronger than ever. They didn't just survive the challenge. They thrived because of it. Here's the thing. Challenges reveal character. When you face a tough moment in love, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How can I grow from this? The person who learns from challenges and handles them with grace becomes more attractive because they're showing resilience, strength, and an openness to grow. Let me ask you, what's one challenge in your love life that you're currently facing? How can you embrace it instead of running from it? The key is to remember that every great love story has its obstacles. It's not about avoiding them, it's about learning and growing through them. When you handle challenges with a stoic mindset, you become someone others can rely on, someone they feel safe with, and someone they admire. Think of the challenges in your love life as chapters in your story. They're not the end. They're the turning points that lead to something even better. Are you ready to embrace them? 4. Detach from outcomes. Let me ask you something. Have you ever found yourself overthinking how someone feels about you? Maybe it's someone you just started dating, and you're constantly wondering, do they like me? Are they going to text me back? What if I mess this up? It's like your entire emotional state depends on their next move. Now imagine this. What if you could let go of all those worries and just focus on being the best version of yourself? Marcus Aurelius said it best. You have power over your mind, not external events. Stop worrying about what others think. This is the essence of detaching from outcomes. It doesn't mean you stop caring about your relationship or the people in your life. It means you stop trying to control what's outside of your control. Let me share a story. There was a guy named Alex who met someone he really liked. He wanted everything to be perfect. Every text, every date, every interaction, he overanalyzed it all. He was so focused on getting the right outcome that he couldn't enjoy the process of simply getting to know the person. Eventually, his anxiety became too much and the connection fizzled out. After the heartbreak, Alex came across Marcus Aurelius' teachings. He learned to focus on what he could control, his own actions, his own emotions, and his own growth. The next time he met someone, he didn't obsess over whether it would lead to a relationship. Instead, he focused on showing up as his authentic self. And guess what? That confidence and ease made him more attractive than ever. Think about your own love story. Have you ever been so caught up in trying to make something work that you forgot to enjoy the moment? What would happen if you let go of the need to control the outcome and just focused on being present? Here's the truth. When you detach from outcomes, you create space for genuine connection. You're no longer acting out of fear or desperation. You're simply being yourself, and that's when the magic happens. Try this. The next time you're on a date or talking to someone you like, remind yourself that your worth isn't tied to their reaction. Whether they call you back or not, whether things go perfectly or not, it doesn't define you. What defines you is how you show up, how you treat others, and how true you are to yourself. When you live this way, you radiate a kind of quiet confidence that people can't help but be drawn to. So, what's stopping you from letting go of those expectations? 5. Practice gratitude daily. Let me ask you something personal. When was the last time you looked at your partner or thought about someone you care about and felt truly grateful for them? Not just in a fleeting way, but really let yourself feel it. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." This idea of gratitude is simple, yet it can transform your relationships. Here's a story that might sound familiar. Sarah and Ben had been together for a few years. At first, everything was exciting, every moment felt special. But as time went on, they fell into a routine. Sarah started focusing on the things Ben didn't do. He didn't plan romantic dates like he used to. He forgot to compliment her new haircut. She found herself nitpicking their relationship, instead of appreciating what they had. One day, Sarah decided to shift her perspective. She started writing down one thing she was grateful for about Ben every day. Some days it was something big, like how he supported her during a tough time. Other days it was something small, like how he always made her laugh. Over time, Sarah noticed a change not just in herself, but in their relationship. Then felt appreciated and their connection deepened. Think about your own love story. Are there moments when you've taken someone for granted? What if, starting today, you made a conscious effort to notice the little things, the way they smile, the way they support you, the way they show up even on their bad days? Gratitude isn't just about feeling good. It's about creating a positive energy that strengthens your bond. When you're grateful, you're more present, more understanding, and more connected. And trust me, the people in your life will feel it. Here's a challenge for you tonight. Write down 3 things you're grateful for about someone you love. If you're brave enough, share it with them. Watch how it transforms your connection. 6. Be present in every moment. Let me take you back to a moment we've all experienced. You're out with someone you care about, but instead of being fully present, your mind is elsewhere. Maybe you're scrolling through your phone or worrying about work. Meanwhile, the person in front of you feels neglected. Marcus Aurelius gave us a powerful reminder: confine yourself to the present. Being present isn't just a Stoic principle, it's a superpower in relationships. Think about it. When was the last time you gave someone your undivided attention? No distractions, no multitasking, just being fully there with them. Well, let me tell you about Jake and Emma. They were a couple who loved each other deeply but struggled with this very issue. Jake was always glued to his phone and Emma felt invisible. One day, Emma confronted him, and Jake realized how much he was missing out on. He made a commitment to put his phone away during their time together. It wasn't easy at first, but something magical happened. They started having deeper conversations, laughing more and feeling closer than ever. Jake learned that being present isn't just about what you do, it's about making the other person feel seen and valued. Now, think about your own relationships. Are there moments when you've been physically present but emotionally absent? What would happen if you made a conscious effort to give your loved ones your full attention? Here's a tip. The next time you're with someone you care about, put away all distractions. Look them in the eyes, listen without interrupting, and let them feel your presence. This simple act can create a connection so powerful that they'll never forget it. 7. Cultivate inner peace. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly felt at peace? Not just with the world around you, but within yourself? Think about it for a moment. Maybe you're someone who always feels on edge, worrying about the future or replaying mistakes from the past. Now imagine if you could silence that noise and simply be. Marcus Aurelius believed that true peace isn't found outside of us, but within. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Let me tell you about a woman named Anna. Anna had been through several relationships, and every time something went wrong, she blamed herself or her partner. She carried the weight of past arguments, misunderstandings, and heartbreaks into each new connection. Her mind was constantly racing with what-ifs and should-haves. One day, Anna stumbled upon Stoicism. She began practicing mindfulness and journaling, much like Marcus Aurelius did centuries ago. Slowly, she learned to let go of what she couldn't control: her partner's actions, their emotions, even the future of their relationship. Instead, she focused on her own peace. And you know what happened? That inner calm made her magnetic. Her partner noticed a change. She no longer overreacted to small things, and she became a source of comfort rather than conflict. Her relationships improved, not because she forced them to, but because her peace influenced those around her. Let me ask you this: are you holding on to stress or anxieties that are impacting your relationships? What would happen if you started each day with a few minutes of silence, focusing only on your breath? Here's the thing: when you cultivate inner peace, you don't just change yourself, you change how people feel around you. People are drawn to calm, centered energy. It's a rare quality, and it's something you can develop starting today. 8. Led by example. Imagine this: you're in a relationship where your partner constantly points out what you're doing wrong. Why don't you communicate better? Why don't you try harder? It feels exhausting, right? Now flip the script. What if instead of criticizing, they simply embodied the qualities they wanted to see in you? Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." It's such a powerful lesson, especially in love. Instead of trying to change others, focus on being the kind of partner you'd want to have. Let me share a story. David was in a rocky marriage. He often wished his wife would be more affectionate, more understanding, more patient. But then he had a realization: was he embodying those qualities himself? The answer was no. So he made a conscious effort to lead by example. He started expressing his feelings openly, showing patience during arguments, and making small, thoughtful gestures. At first, his wife didn't respond much, but over time she started mirroring his actions. They began communicating better, laughing more, and rebuilding their bond. Think about your own relationships. Are there qualities you wish your partner had? Instead of waiting for them to change, ask yourself, am I showing up as the person I'd want to be with? Here's a challenge. Pick one quality you wish to see more of in your partner: kindness, attentiveness, affection, and start embodying it today. Lead by example and watch how it transforms your connection. 9. Prioritize integrity. Let me take you back to a moment we've all faced. Maybe you told a little white lie to avoid conflict, or maybe you said something in the heat of the moment that didn't align with your values. How did it feel afterward? That nagging discomfort comes from stepping out of alignment with your integrity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Integrity isn't just about being honest, it's about staying true to your values. Even when it's hard. Here's a story. Emma was dating someone she really liked. But there was one problem: he didn't want a serious relationship, and she did. Instead of being honest, she pretended to be okay with it, hoping he'd change his mind. Months went by, and Emma felt more and more disconnected from herself. She realized she wasn't honoring her own needs, and it was taking a toll on her. Eventually, Emma had an honest conversation with him. It wasn't easy, but it freed her to find someone who wanted the same things she did. And more importantly, it helped her stay true to herself. Let me ask you, are there moments in your love life where you've compromised your integrity? Maybe you've stayed silent when you needed to speak up, or said yes when you meant no. What would happen if you committed to being honest, not just with others, but with yourself? Integrity is attractive because it shows strength of character. When you live authentically, people trust you, respect you, and feel safe around you. And isn't that what we all want in love? 10. Focus on the present, not the past or future. Let me ask you this. How often do you find yourself dwelling on the past, or worrying about the future? Maybe you replay old arguments or stress about where your relationship is headed. Now imagine, if you could let go of all that and simply enjoy the moment you're in. Marcus Aurelius taught, "Do not let the future disturb you. You will meet it if you must, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." Let me tell you about Mark and Lily. They had been dating for a year, but Mark couldn't stop worrying about whether their relationship would last. He was constantly questioning if he was doing enough, or if Lily might leave him one day. His anxiety prevented him from enjoying their time together. One day, Lily sat him down and said, "I love you, but I need you to be here with me right now, not 5 years from now." That conversation was a wake-up call for Mark. He started practicing mindfulness, focusing on the little moments they shared: a sunset, a quiet dinner, a laugh. When Mark let go of his fears about the future, their connection deepened. He realized that the only way to build a lasting relationship was to be fully present in each moment. Think about your own relationships. Are you holding on to regrets from the past or anxieties about the future? What would happen if you chose to focus solely on the present? The conversation you're having, the touch of their hand, the way they look at you when they smile. Here's a practice for you. The next time you're with someone you love, put everything else aside: your phone, your worries, your to-do list, and just be there. Notice their laugh, their voice, their energy. This is where love truly lives, in the present moment. Each of these points is designed to resonate deeply with the viewer's experiences and emotions, creating a sense of connection and providing actionable advice to transform their love life. So there you have it, 10 powerful suggestions from Marcus Aurelius to master emotional control and become magnetically attractive. Remember, it's not about changing who you are, it's about transforming how you react to the world around you. Take these principles to heart, apply them to your life, and watch how your relationships flourish. And hey, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need this wisdom. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.